Hello everybody, this is Yoko's Anime Reactions, and this is going to be my review for Goblin Slayer episodes 3 and 4. I hope to get some reactions recorded tomorrow, maybe, if not today. It just depends on if the kids are good. And I wish they would just be quiet. Is it so wrong to want to just have a nice, peaceful day? No kids bothering you, getting to do whatever you want to do? No, it's not wrong, but it's not possible at this point. Anyway, Goblin Slayer episodes 3 and 4, we get introduced to the rest of who I'm going to assume is their party. A high elf archer, a dwarf, I'm guessing a dwarven bard, something like that. Something like that. I don't know. Let me know what they are, what the guy is. Because he uses magic. And a lizard folk. I don't know what he fights with. What his class is, I mean. And they want him to help them out. And, at first, Goblin Slayer thinks that they're needing help with taking out, the demon stuff that's going on in the capital and all that, and he's, not interested, essentially. He's not interested in helping with anything other than goblins. And, thankfully, they are there to talk about dealing with goblins. And while they're all talking about all this, the priestess girl is talking with some other people, and a sorcerer lady is talking to her and essentially telling her that, there essentially is more to this guy than meets the eye, and that he's definitely an interesting guy. And, the beginning of the episode confirmed what everybody was saying about this being an animated D&D game. And heck, the opening itself was a confirmation, because there were scenes in there that involved dice. And I'm like, good lord, why can't they make more shows like this? That'd be awesome. Because as an avid D&D fan, I am not near as big a fan or experienced with it as my fiance is, because he's been playing for years and years and years. And, shoot. Why can't they make more anime like this? Just no rapey stuff. Anyway, when he comes back after agreeing to help them, because, there's a giant goblin nest in a part of the Elven Kingdom, and he was essentially not going to take the priestess with him, that he was going to go alone, and essentially, he mentioned that he was acting like he was telling her to stay behind, that it wasn't up for a discussion, and she mentioned this, and she essentially said that it's not a discussion if one of the people doesn't have a say, and that makes perfect sense. And she did say that she is going with him, because she is not staying behind. And so they end up camping out while on their way there, and the high elf lady, she wants to get a good look at this guy in the helmet. And obviously he ain't taking it off. And I think it's hilarious that when the dwarf guy offers them some alcohol, she just takes a sip and she is completely tipsy. So she is a lightweight. And they just end up talking about, their backstories and everything, and how, for some strange reason, the lizard folk aspires to be a dragon someday. Don't ask me how that would be possible. I don't know, but essentially, the High Elf is only doing this because she wants to go out and adventure and doesn't think that adventure should be. She essentially just wants to get out in the world and explore. Oh, she is in for a rude awakening. Anyway, they get to the, sorry, I hate it when I yawn. They get to where the nest is, and I'm assuming the High Elf got a critical on her roll of aiming at the goblins because the arrow curved and got the two goblins and the dire wolf, I'm guessing, that was there in one hit, essentially. So that had to have been a critical roll. Or a critical hit, like essentially rolling a 20. Plus whatever her proficiency with bows and arrows is. Anyway, yeah, he does the same thing that he did in the first episode where he takes the goblin's blood and he covers them all with it to hide their scent. Obviously, the High Elf's not happy about this, but the priest is like, you'll get used to it, because you gotta do it or else the goblins will know you're there. And they continue down there and end up finding an elven girl being held hostage. And obviously, from the first episode, we know what the goblins have been doing to her. Whether she is pregnant or not, we cannot see it. We don't see her, with a baby belly. So, either that hasn't happened yet, or she could have just given birth. I don't know. But yeah, they kill some more goblins, and thanks to a combo spell from the dwarf and the priestess of stupor and silence, all the goblins are down for the count. They're easy prey for them to kill, essentially. Once all this happens, the leader shows up. It's not a shaman, because there are no shamans in this nest anyway. It's an ogre? And at first when I saw that, I was like, ooh, that's not a goblin. I was worried that he would just walk away because it wasn't a goblin. No, he did still take on the ogre, sorry. And, thankfully he used one of the scrolls that he had with him. I don't know if this is the scroll that lady helped him with. I'm assuming it is. But apparently it's a gate scroll, and he had it connected to the bottom of the ocean, and the high pressure from that water that came out essentially acted like a water blade and sliced the guy with sliced his limbs off, sliced him in half, and he finished him off. But they did have a hard time of it. So yeah, what's the class for the dwarf and the lizard folk? Or lizard man, whatever you want to call him. But yeah, so now they are essentially a party at this point. Whether that continues to be the case, we will see in the rest of the episodes. But yeah, I really do wish they would make more anime like this, where it's based off of D&D games, because us D&D fans would love it. I would anyway. Not sure about everybody else, but I would. Anyway, I will see everybody next time.